Let's talk about neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to change and adapt in response to repeated experience. I like to think of it as what you practice, you strengthen. And that's one reason I believe having a consistent spiritual practice can be so powerful. Now, when I say spiritual practice, I'm not necessarily talking about religion. I'm speaking more so of the practices that intentionally bring you into presence, connection, reflection, or relationship with something larger than your immediate thoughts and circumstances. A while back, we talked about what a spiritual practice can look like. And if you remember that while it can be meditation, prayer, and contemplation, it can also be time in nature, walking, or resting. And here's what gets really interesting. Researchers who were studying contemplative practices like these have observed changes in how the brain networks involved in attention, emotional regulation, self-awareness, and stress response function and communicate. And that actually makes sense when you think about what you're actually practicing. So every time you meditate and notice your mind wandering and then gently bring your attention back, you're practicing attention. Every time you pause and observe an emotion instead of immediately reacting to it, you're practicing regulation. And every time you engage in loving kindness or a compassion practice, you're practicing a different way of relating to yourself and other people. Also, every time you pray, reflect, or intentionally step outside of the noise of your day, you're practicing perspective. So you're not just doing a spiritual practice, you're repeatedly giving your brain an experience. And repetition matters because what we consistently practice can shape the neural pathways and networks that our brains become better at using. So if you've wondered whether 5 minutes of meditation matters, whether your morning prayers matter, whether journaling your thoughts or taking a quiet walk without your phone matters, you shouldn't underestimate what happens when you consistently return to these practices. You may think you're simply creating a spiritual ritual, but you're also practicing who and how you want to be. And over time, your brain is paying attention and learning right alongside you. And if you're looking for a place to start, the TNTW portal does contain over 45 guided meditations, as well as a spiritual expansion and soul alignment library that's filled with resources. So that's your Wellness Tip Wednesday, and I will see you next week.